Gail, the BSO has had only 8 presidents in 140 years. What is it like to step into that history?
Well, it's thrilling. The BSO has had, as you said, such a storied history, and it's not only about the orchestra. There's this wonderful virtuosic group of musicians who now have this incredible relationship with their music director, Andres Nelsons. But thinking of all the other parts of the organization, the Boston Pops and Tanglewood, I mean, those individual elements also have 80, 100-year histories, and it's a lot of wonderful tradition to think about how we can build on.
Gail, speaking of history, your announcement is history making because you will be the first female president of the symphony. Your thoughts on that?
I understand the significance of it, and I really embrace that. And representation matters. And I think in the arts particularly, it's important for us to show that there's room for everybody at all levels of our organizations. And I think it's really important that young women know that this is a possibility for them, and also that young men know that this is a possibility for young women.
It's a big job, but was there one particular thing that made you say yes?
I think it's actually the combination of elements, and as we were talking about, all those different parts that come together to create this incredible whole, this group of assets that represent a world of possibilities in the future. I think it was really, really the whole. And you know, I've been on the West Coast for a very long time, and it's a great adventure.
Gail, you've been with the LA Philharmonic for more than 25 years. Like Boston, that orchestra runs concerts year round and in 2 venues. Here in Boston, of course, that means Tanglewood and the Boston Pops Fireworks Spectacular at the Hat Shell. Bloomberg, of course, is a major sponsor and the media partner. You must be very excited for that.
Yes, I am. Again, all those elements have such great histories. And so, you know, to think about not just the city of Boston, but I mean, everybody knows about that wonderful July 4th spectacular. And so to be a part of that and really be able to represent that for the country is wonderful.
Gail, this is a tough time for orchestras around the world with closed halls and lost ticket revenue. How do you plan to meet those challenges?
You know, this pandemic has been hard on so many people and so many organizations, and the arts have certainly been affected. Those of us who are in the performing arts and what we do, what we love to do, our mission is to bring people together for collective human experiences, and we haven't been able to do that. So, and that has meant financial losses and disconnection with our audiences. So there's a lot of work to be done. And I think when I get to starting in Boston and really understanding the organization, and we just have to prioritize and think about how we move forward. And I also think there's opportunity in it. We have an opportunity now on the heels of not doing live performances for a year to think about things differently. And that will mean different things for different organizations, but you know, there is some.
You are not exactly new to the BSO. Not everyone knows you worked at Tanglewood a long ago summer. How did that influence your career path?
I think at Tanglewood was the place where, listening to the BSO and working there, I really decided that this was the right path for me. And that's where it became clear. And so as I think about coming back to, I had a meeting when I was there with the then managing director. And so to think about coming back to now occupy that office is kind of surreal and also really, really wonderful.
Gail, orchestras are rich with history and tradition, but they also need to innovate in order to capture a new audience. Do you have some ideas on how you want to do that?
Well, I think it's going to be different at every organization. And so as I think about the BSO, I think the first thing I need to do is really be there and learn and listen and also come to understand the Boston community. I think, you know, our orchestras have also traditionally been very white and seen as elitist organizations. And so this is a time when we really have to think about how we've been a part of sustaining barriers to access, and then look at our assets and figure out how we can move forward using those assets in the most effective way.
Could that actually impact some of the music that we will hear from the BSO?
I think everything is open. You know, yes, I think there could be changes in programming. I think really thinking about how we are welcoming to all audiences, how we engage with students, and the really broad Boston community. Those are all parts of that picture.